listening to We Talk Phil. I'm your host, Barry, joined as always by Clayton. How are you doing, buddy? How's it been? How's it been
Barry.
hanging? How was your Halloween?
Good. It was incredibly spooky. No, it was kind of boring. I didn't do anything.
Same. I
How
watched the
was your
spooky
Halloween,
films,
Barry?
though. I watched spooky films.
Did you?
Yeah.
I watched spooky films. Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot that that's what we were doing. I thought it was just discontinued. This episode's coming out way past Halloween. We've kind of missed the boat just
We
a
did.
little bit.
We missed the boat just on our normal schedule. We just don't have a schedule now. We're just like, whatever. Middle of the week, end of the week, every 3 months, we'll do a video.
At some point. Yeah, you get it at some point, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably. But yeah, we watched some spooky films. And because none of us really were too keen on going to see Venom 3, we were like, why don't we just watch some films that have been on our lists for a while, films that we've been meaning to check out, wanting to watch. So we did just that. Me and Barry each picked one film to talk about. I picked an older film, and Barry picked a quite new one that I hadn't heard of. So I was very keen to check out both of these surprisingly entertaining films.
Yeah.
Barry, so what film are you bringing to the podcast today?
So I'm bringing to the podcast a small film that came out in 2021 called The Cursed, or in some countries, there's actually an alternate title to it, which I found out today, which is called 8 for Silver.
Oh, okay.
As well.
8th of Silver.
8 for Silver.
I prefer that. That's a cooler title than The Cursed.
Just a bit.
Okay.
So
That's
what
cool.
are you bringing today?
I've decided to pick like one of the all-time great classic horror films. It's been a huge gap on my watch list for a while, called Rosemary's Baby from 1968, I believe. And again, Barry, had you seen this film before I told you to rewatch it for this?
No, but I've heard of it and everything like that before.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was new for me as well.
I thought you would have seen it. The funny thing about this one, I'll give a fun fact as well, because you gave a fun fact about The Cursed. This film was ranked number 7, IGN's greatest horror films of all time for this year's Halloween. So, yeah, I don't know if that means it's good or not, but like it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's your little fun fact. Okay, so speaking of fun and facts, I think it's news time.
We got the fun and fact news here at We Talk Film. Always the latest and greatest news.
we get smoother every week.
Exactly.
We forget like the things that we say that made this run well.
Maybe we have Alzheimer's every single time we do the podcast, and that's why we forget to do the podcast.
I'm gonna start uploading the same episode every week, and then just not notice.
Oh no! I go off by like my schedule goes off the podcast, so I know what day it is. Logically, it's Sunday still.
Oh god, yeah, no, it feels like it. We're doing that. We're recording this on a Tuesday.
Yeah,
so it's throwing our whole week off. It feels so weird. Okay, the news. Our top story this week. This is the most important news we've ever had on this show. Warner Brothers is releasing 10 Tumblr Batmobiles for $3 million each. And me and Barry are going halves in one.
Yeah.
We're buying.
And then I'm also going halves with another person as well. We're just trying to buy them all so we have them all together.
You can't get two. I can have my own, then you can drive the other. Yeah, so we're getting a Batmobile. No, we're not getting a Batmobile, but it's $3 million. It is not road legal, and it's like 512 horsepower, and it has a working smoke screen amongst other gadgets that actually function, so it is cool as hell. Guarantee these are going to get snatched up as soon as they're available by all sorts of millionaires across the US.
Definitely will be.
Unfortunately, I do not have a spare $3 million to buy a Batmobile. Otherwise, I would 100% buy a Batmobile.
So would I. And so would a lot of people. Because is it just like Batman's Batmobile? Or is it also like the weird other ones, like the camo colored ones they did? Or is it just they're all just black?
No, it's just the black one. I think they're all just black. I mean, You'd want to go buy a camo one and then ask, does it come in black? And
Yeah.
then buy the black one. You can't do that, unfortunately, because it is just come in black. So
Yeah.
take that, what you will. Next story, we got a trailer for the next Star Wars show. This is one that has been on our radar for a while.
Yeah.
Something that we've been skeptical of, but like looking forward to because it stars Jude Law, which I
Mm-hmm.
know Barry is a huge fan of. It's called
Yeah.
Skeleton Crew, coming out on Disney Plus December 3rd with 2 episodes as its premiere. I'm unsure how to feel about this trailer, Barry. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on Skeleton Crew so far?
Well, it's better than the Acolyte so far, from what I'm judging by the trailers.
Did you watch The Acolyte? Because
No,
I didn't watch
I
The
just watched the
Acolyte.
trailer for the Acolyte. It was like, I ain't watching this.
Oh, the trailer?
Yeah, and then
I
like
don't
going
know.
off that, I was like, oh, okay, like there's potential in it, and from still all I know is it's meant to be like Goonies but in space.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means. I mean, the kid actors are the forefront of this show. It's like a group of kids. There's a couple that are aliens, and then Jude Law's like a bounty hunter Jedi dude maybe
Yeah,
who
something.
tags along with them. It feels a little too distant from I don't know how to explain it from regular Star Wars. This feels very much like its own little thing.
Yeah,
The world that they come from looks like a suburban neighborhood.
yeah.
I don't know, something about this show just isn't clicking, and I don't quite know how to put my finger on it yet. Maybe it'll be good when it come out. Maybe it's just this trailer that's funky, but I don't know.
Yeah, it
I
does.
don't
It
know,
does
Barry.
like
I'm
look a bit
genuinely,
odd, and I think
yeah.
they're probably like targeting like obviously young kids to watch it and everything like that. That's going to be their
I mean,
main thing
yeah.
for it. But yeah, it was like seeing just like a normal residential house in a Star Wars like show or
Doesn't
world.
sit
It
right.
was just like,
Yeah.
no, that like yeah, that's a few things in it that's a bit like okay,
Yeah. Oh well. Next thing. This is a story that is not confirmed to be true. It is reported from some high-ranking yada yadas. So, take it with a grain of salt. This may not be true, but Chris Pratt has reportedly signed a deal to return as Star-Lord for 2 films, Spider-Man 4 and Avengers Doomsday.
woo!
Star-Lord's coming back for Spider-Man?
The legendary Star
What
Lord himself.
what do you reckon? Do you think Star-Lord belongs in a Spider-Man film? Is he someone you're clamoring to see Tom Holland team up with?
No, not particularly. I think I feel like that is the most like oddest thing to like come out. Like it's understandable for Doomsday for him to be there because that's like an Avengers
Yeah, that
thing
makes sense.
and everything like that. But for like a Spider-Man film, it's just like okay, like he's just gonna be there type thing, maybe. But
I
that's the
don't
thing,
know.
because like
Maybe.
I was the one that obviously like sent you the link for that, and then I tried to investigate it further and stuff like that, and the link to where it was apparently publicized and that originally got taken down.
Right.
So
Okay.
I can't actually find the actual
Could be true,
original
it could be
source
not,
article.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wacky. I don't know. I wouldn't be against it. Like, weirdly, everyone seems to hate this idea, but I'm like, you know what? This doesn't sound too far off. Like, if it's done well, or if it's just like he makes a cameo because he's just parading around as a regular dude. Like, if he's on the streets of New York for like a minute
Yeah.
in the background of a scene, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. He's there. But I don't
He's
know
like,
if
hey,
we
I'm
need
Star
like a
Lord.
full
I'm
Star
eating
Lord.
food. And then it is
Yeah,
basically
I don't know
Chris
if we need
Pratt.
because yeah, see now that'd be kind of fun. But yeah, I don't think we need like a Doctor Strange level No Way Home situation with Star-Lord of all people.
Yeah.
Very much let Spider-Man do his own thing, especially in this one where he needs it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah. Okay, this next story is very cool. The director of Godzilla Minus One, has announced he's doing a new one. He's doing another one. This is
Wahoo!
great. This is great news because Minus One was the best Godzilla film in a long time. It wasn't perfect, but it was the best Godzilla film in a long time. So
Yeah.
100% give this man more money than last time because it was a low budget Godzilla film.
Oh, yes.
And let him do more. Let him go nuts. This is great. I know you're excited about this, Bear.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because like that's what got best visual effects Oscar last year, and it was like a
Yeah.
budget of $10 million or something, or even less than that. It wasn't a lot. And then yeah, they're just like, oh yeah,
Yeah, I
by
don't
the
know.
way, like because I read like the article review thing about the director, because apparently he's being like getting offered jobs in that like in America now and everything because of how well the first film did. And
Oh,
then
good
he's
on
like
him.
he's
Yeah,
turned
yeah.
around and been like, no, I'm just gonna do the next one now with my team. So I'm just like, yeah, that's how you do it.
That's great. And that's gonna get him even more jobs in the long run. He's gonna get to make
Yeah.
something that he wants to make, and it's gonna work out well for him. Like, I almost guarantee that this second film is gonna be just as good, if not better than the
Yeah.
first.
Yep. Well, that's the thing, because
This
they
guy
were
seems to
actually
know how to do
playing the
Godzilla.
black and white version of -1 at the cinemas up in Perth the other day.
Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh. That would've been cool to see.
that would have been cool.
Yeah, alright. Moving away from Godzilla, are you familiar with the video game franchise Outlast? Uh, Sort of a found footage survival horror
Oh
first person
yes,
experience. You walk around with a
yes.
video
I
camera,
played the first one. Yeah.
terrifying as shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's getting a movie.
Okay.
From the studio behind the Saw franchise. I don't think you could have picked a
Oh.
more perfect group of
Okay.
people to
Yep.
finance
Yep.
this film.
That's
Um,
good.
this could be cool because that is a scary game.
Yeah.
Um, the whole game is basically through the lens of an old video camera that you have to look through because everything's pitch black.
Yep.
So if they could emulate that in some way, almost do like a sort of Blair Witchy situation with
That would be
Outlast,
cool.
this could be a cool film.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna keep this one on my radar.
Yeah. So is like, have they said like if James Wan and stuff like that are like any
No,
part of it,
no.
or
Oh, all
okay?
we know is that Lionsgate are behind it, which are the
Yeah.
guys, the
Yeah.
like Saw company. So I don't know.
Okay.
That's all we know so far. It's just been announced that it's in the works. I don't know who's directing
Ooh.
it, and we don't know
Yeah.
anything else about it. But it's cool. It's exciting. I like
Yeah.
that.
That would be.
Would be very cool. Okay. Next story. This is one that kind of threw me for a loop. I was a little confused, and then I'm like, okay, and then I was like confused again. Yeah, it'll make sense when I explain what this
Okay.
is. Jeremy Allen White, the star of The Bear, a show that
Mm-hmm.
we are both
Mm-hmm.
big fans of, is playing Bruce Springsteen in a biopic about the making of one of his albums.
Yes.
I, it, like, he doesn't come across as Bruce Springsteen. What do you like? Do you see
No.
Bruce Springsteen in this guy at all?
No, not particularly. Like,
I don't
I'm not
know.
the biggest Bruce Springsteen fan, and stuff
Yeah,
like that in
not
the
really,
first place. But
still.
like, I saw the image that they released or whatever, and I'm just like, what? Like, when did they
No,
make this? Why did they make this?
I don't know.
So we'll see how it comes out. I suppose maybe he can sing.
I suppose.
It's just gonna be weird
Can he
because
sing?
every
Have we
time I
seen him
see
sing in
him in
anything?
other things, no, we haven't. And like every time
Okay.
I'm gonna see him, I'm just gonna be like, hey, it's the Kami from the Bear.
That's true. Is one of those actors that he's so well known for this role that you can't see him in anything else
Yeah,
apart from as the actor or that character.
yeah,
So I don't know if chucking him into a biopic role is the good idea. But then again, the Bob Dylan film, for example, with Timothy Chalamet,
yeah, yeah.
it's really good. It's grown on me the more I've seen of it, especially because Timothy's sounds like Bob Dylan. He's doing a
Yeah.
really good, especially singing impression. So maybe Kami can pull out some Springsteen. I don't know.
Maybe you can.
Maybe. Okay. The last story this week is a big one because Marvel Disney put out this like 4-minute long trailer showcasing what's happening, what's to come. They're giving us like a rundown of the next 3-4 years of just like this is everything we're doing. We're just putting it out here. So I'm gonna run you through the slate of what's up and coming, and we can talk about each thing as we go. The first one, which I am probably like the most excited for, surprisingly out of everything, is What If Season 3 is
Yeah.
coming out this December.
Yep. Yep.
Like, that's so close considering we haven't seen anything else about this third season.
Yeah. Like there's been no promo
you
thing
want
for
more
anything
What If?
for it. Yeah. No, that's the thing because
Yeah.
I really like what they've been doing with that. Like really fits with the like wackiness of the stories and like doing it in an animation format and stuff like that. And I kind of like
Mm-hmm.
what they've done for the past 2 seasons, like these little spin-off stories and stuff like that. It's almost like a one-off like comic book idea. And I suppose that's what if the
Yeah,
comic books was meant to be. And
that's the idea.
they've really like encapsulated that as like an animation. So it's like good on them for like doing that. And I was like, yeah, I was down to see more and stuff like that for it. And then hopefully some of those elements, you
Yeah.
know, we have slowly seen them go to live action. So
Yeah, we have. I mean, Peggy Carter's character of Captain Carter was the
yeah,
big example. I mean, she was in What If and then showed up in Multiverse of Madness, which was
yep,
really cool. Surprisingly good in that terrible film, but who knows? What if season 3 could bring some fun ideas? And even if it doesn't come to live action, it could be a fun side thing not connected to anything,
yes, yeah.
which is great. So that is coming out in December, and then January, we're getting Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which is the animated sort of. It's a what if
Yeah.
show. It's an alternate universe showing sort of the Homecoming origins, but not quite. And this looks,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm like, it looks cool and promising. The art style is sort of what if, but not
Yeah, it's still
quite.
that
Like it's a little
3D
more.
type. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much that 3D animation, not less comic booky, more 3D. Just sort of like a Nimona sort of vibe to how everything looks.
Yep.
Um, what are your thoughts on this? Because this was a large segment of the trailer, considering it's coming out in January.
Yeah. I did see like the clip for it and stuff like that. I'm still a bit confused as to being like, why do we need it when there's so much other Spider-Man stuff
Spider-Man.
going on? And I think that's the thing because like Spider-Man's their biggest like superhero for Marvel and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Always will be type thing. And I just like try and push whatever they can for it.
Makes
But you
sense.
know, like I'll still probably watch it type thing. I'll be like, okay, like this is what they're doing with it. The only thing is though, it's
Yeah.
not Tom Holland voicing Spider-Man. It's the guy that
No,
does like
no,
What
no.
If and stuff like that. The animation Spider-Man guy.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. That's fine. That's totally fine. The next thing, which is February, immediately after that show, probably if they do weekly, like during the run of this show, is Captain America 4: Brave New World. I know we've talked about that
Oh,
just
that's actually
at
coming
length.
out.
Coming out in February next year.
Oh, I thought it
It
was
could be
getting pushed
cool.
back
No, or at least not as of
because
my
apparently
knowledge
they're
right
doing
now.
reshoots this week for it. So
Wait, they're doing more? Are you
yeah,
serious? How
Carlos
did I miss
Esposito
this?
came out this morning. There was like an interview being like, oh yeah, he needs to go to Georgia and do like a whole bunch of reshoots for it.
Oh no. Oh
Mhm.
well, as I think it's still coming out in February. We'll check that and get back to you guys. Um, Never mind. Maybe I shouldn't be as hopeful
Yeah.
as I am for
Well, that's
Captain
the thing. This
America 4.
the same thing happened with Deadpool. Remember, like literally,
Oh yeah, yeah,
just
you're
over a
right.
month before it actually came out, they had to like do a couple reshoots of scenes. So maybe it's just like
Yeah,
something like that.
maybe. I hope that doesn't mess anything around too much. I hope that they're
Apparently, it has
okay
already
and
been a
they can
mess this
pull it through.
entire production. So we'll see what
Well, it's
happens.
been delayed once or twice before in the past. So again,
And
who knows?
rewritten because they didn't like half of the story, and then
Yeah.
it was like redo it again, please.
Yeah. Yeah, that was okay. Well, I don't know. It's got Harrison Ford in it. He'll be fun to see.
Exactly. That's all I've
That's
got.
cool.
That's all I'm looking forward to it.
Um, yeah, but I'm looking forward to this next one though, because straight after that in March we're getting Daredevil Born Again, which had
Yeah,
a
we
quite a
are.
lengthy segment in the Disney trailer as well,
Yep.
showcasing the Punisher, showcasing a bunch of action. It looks cool as hell.
Oh yeah.
Um, I'm very excited, but I'm still skeptical because this is something that also went through a bunch of rewrites. The entire show was rewritten like twice.
Yep.
Characters were brought back, actors were rehired. It was this whole thing, a huge mess. Get this show
Yep.
on off the ground, but it looks good.
It
It
does.
looks
It does.
good, Barry.
It literally looks like that. It's like, oh, the Netflix show did really well. Let's continue what we did with that.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
Because it did really well. Keep doing that. Just try and improve. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
If it's working, just try and do a step more than that. You know,
Yeah.
it's good. This is Daredevil. We love what we're getting. Okay, and then nothing in April. We have 1 month of no Marvel. That's crazy. Whoa.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and then May is Thunderbolts Asterix, a film that
Yeah.
I will watch. I don't know if I'm too keen on. I still don't know what the Asterix is for.
Yeah. It's like
I think that's
Thunderbolts
just the title
and
now. It's
Bucky.
Thunderbolts Asterix. Oh, maybe it is Asterix and Bucky. That would be funny. Or maybe they're doing what Deadpool was gonna do and release a completely different film under a different title. Maybe we get there when it comes out and it's
It's
actually like
actually Deadpool 4.
Thunderbolts and it's Thunderbolts and Deadpool or some shit
Yeah.
like that, and just everyone loses their minds. No, no, I doubt it. It's
They're
fun.
not that smart. They're
Um,
not Ryan Reynolds.
I mean, who knows, dude? Okay, then after May, in June, we get Ironheart, which had like a decent section of the trailer, facing like her new suit, her new friends, I guess.
Yep.
I do not care about this show. It was the
No.
weakest part of Wakanda Forever.
Yep.
I do not care about this character at all. Maybe
Yeah.
this show will change that. Maybe it will do her justice and give us some really cool moments, but I kind of doubt it, considering it looks like more of the same. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I
Who
just
knows?
like I didn't watch the full like all the clips for that. I was just like, okay, like yeah, they're continuing her thing. I kind of already forgot about her. That she was a
Sure.
thing.
Yeah. She didn't do anything in the movie. She was just kind of
Yeah.
there. Um, and it looks like that's kind of what this trailer is giving
Yeah.
of her. That she's just kind of there. I don't know. We know. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe it'll be good. Then in July we have Fantastic Four: First Steps. I'm
Yep.
very excited
Yeah.
for this. I'm scared that it's gonna suck, but I'm
Oh yeah.
excited for it
It's
either
either
way.
gonna be like
Um,
really good or really bad.
just like every Fantastic Four film ever.
Exactly.
No, I'm kidding. They're all bad. They're all terrible. Um, yeah, Fantastic Four. We'll talk about that another time. I don't want to talk about that. In August, getting another animated show called Eyes of Wakanda. Don't know much about it. They haven't given much information. Stuff we saw looked kind of cool. It was again sort of that friendly neighborhood sort of animation, the 3D stuff.
Yeah.
Looked cool. Cool getting more Wakanda stuff. Didn't look like any Black Panthers are showing up in it, but who knows? It sure could be cool. I'm all
Yeah.
for that world. It's a cool part of the Marvel universe we want to look into. And then in October, we're getting another animated show with Marvel Zombies, the spin-off of the What If episode.
Yes.
Same name. This looks so cool. We
Yep.
saw sections from the trailer showcasing a Blade Moon Knight character.
Yep.
Like this, did you see that? Yeah, this is gonna
Yeah.
be Mahershala Ali's first proper on-screen appearance in the MCU. That's not
Well, that's
just his
is
voice
it?
in
Oh,
them.
okay.
No, it's him.
Okay.
Actually him. Confirmed to be Blade as Moon Knight. That's cool. I don't know why Blade needs to be Moon Knight, but that's just cool as fuck. Like,
Like, okay, yeah,
does
sure.
not need that
Go
extra
for it.
power, but sure, yeah. That's cool. And then after October, December is Wonder Man. Which we got quite a decent length of the trailer. We'll section for this. Look, I don't know what it's about. It looks cool. Trevor Slattery, the Mandarin, is coming back in it. That was
Yeah.
fun. I don't
Just,
know.
why not?
That's that. And then the rest of the slate I'll breeze through quickly because a lot of it's just kind of yeah. Avengers Doomsday is coming out January 26, 2026. Spider-Man 4, July 2026. Vision series is sometime 2026. And then Secret Wars is 2027. And then Blade is to be decided. Shang-Chi 2 is to be decided. Armor Wars
Yep.
to be decided. And X-Men 97 Season 2 to be decided.
Okay.
There's good shit in there. I hope they
Yeah,
do this well. I hope they do it with
I hope
justice.
so.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a long news section.
It
Whose
was.
movie are we doing first? Do we do your movie or my movie? Because
We can do your movie first. I've got it first up on
my movie first.
the sound clip because I actually do have sounds for this one.
Oh,
I found like
shit!
trailers
Movie from
for
the
them and stuff.
'60s.
Maybe from the
That's
'60s,
cool.
even though
I'm
it was
excited
a
to see this.
50th anniversary thing for it. So
Oh yeah, that's normal. Well, it wouldn't have got a trailer in 1968, right?
Did they even have trailers back then?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't actually know. Because someone tell me when they first started doing like proper movie trailers.
Yeah. Leave it down in the
Like, I know they
comments.
might have had like show reels or clip reels for like
Yeah.
distributors. Okay, Barry, play the clip. Let's do the thing.
All right.
Dreams I have. You witches!
God is dead! Satan lives!
You're lying! You're lying! This is no dream. This is really happening.
So, yes, first up, we'll be talking about Rosemary's Baby, the 1968 version. A young couple trying for a baby moves into an aging, ornate apartment building on Central Park West, where they find themselves surrounded by peculiar neighbors where they're all cult worshippers. Dun, dun, dun. Obviously directed by Roman Polanski and written by Roman Polanski and Ira Levin.
This movie is great. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I went into this film thinking it was kind of like The Exorcist. Like, as far as I knew, I thought it was going to be a demon baby thing. I had no idea about any of the cult shit going into this film, which is incredibly surprising considering this film is like 60, 70 years old now. So
yeah, well, that's the thing, because this is before The Omen, this is before The Exorcist, this is like as original like horror type stuff you can get with this movie.
This predates all of those other films, which kind of set the bar and took a lot from this film. Oh my god, like this holds up so well. It kind of blew me away the entire way through. I do have some problems with it, including one major problem, which I'll get to in a little bit. But I'm so curious. What did you know of this film going in? Because I thought you might have seen it.
Yeah, no, I have heard of it and stuff like that, and like I already knew about the story and everything from people and everything like that. And it was just one of those movies where like I was like, okay, like that sounds interesting. And like obviously back coming out in 68 and everything like that, this would have been mind blowing to like hear about or see about and stuff like that. Cause there would have been like nothing like this besides like a few Hitchcock films and stuff like that. Trying to do like a similar thing, but nothing to this level of being like, oh no, there's a whole bunch of like cultists and worshippers of the devil, and the devil's actually in it as well. Spoilers.
Oh yeah, he is. Such a wacky film. My favorite part of this film, and I'll ask what yours is next, is the acting from the main girl. I forget her name. Barry, do you have it up?
Her name
Main
is
lady.
Rosemary Woodhouse, played by Mia Farrow.
Mia Farrow, yes. Oh my god, she was amazing in this film. The entire film is from her perspective. That's how we hide a lot of the cult shit, the mishappenings. And there is not a single point in this film where you're bored of her, or you're like, oh, I wish we'd see what some other characters are doing, because you're just so enthralled in her story and her perspective on all these events. And it all comes across through her amazing acting. So I was just blown away by that performance, considering this film is kind of the first of its kind, really.
Yeah.
And she's just stunning in this film, absolutely stunning. So Barry, I have a question. What was your favorite thing about Rosemary's Baby? Just your one favorite thing.
Probably the story of it all, like the paranoia of it all. Because here's the thing: you could take out some of like scenes from this film, like the full on like cult worshipping stuff and the devil and stuff like that, and it could honestly be this entire film about like paranoia and being like, who the hell are these? Who are my neighbors and stuff like that? And that's what it kind of goes for as well. Because that's the thing. There's supernatural elements to it. There's not a lot of it type thing. It's only like in a couple scenes, like somewhat near the beginning and stuff like that. And then at the end. So it hides it very well and everything like that. So that's probably like my favorite part of it, is just like the sense of like paranoia. Like it brings to this like film.
Yeah. The whole way through, you're kept guessing about what's going on. And it doesn't actually get crazy until about an hour and a half into this film, where she starts figuring things out and things are not going wrong. The first hour of this film is just kind of a quirky comedy about this couple moving into a house, and then they have these annoying older neighbors that they just can't seem to get rid of. And then she has like dreams, and they're trying for a baby, and there's this whole thing. Until she gets pregnant and starts hallucinating. She starts losing lots of weight. The neighbors are getting more and more nosy. They're controlling parts of her life, whether she knows it or not. Husband's spending a lot of time with them.
Random friends of theirs keep dying and stuff like that.
Just show up, and yeah, anyone that she talks to just dies or ends up in a coma. People end up blind. It's this whole like paranoia situation of, is this in her head? Is this all coincidence? Are they witches? Because like for the most of this film, when she starts figuring it out, she's like, shit, I think they're witches. They're doing magic stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, they're cult worshippers doing some crazy shit. And then they take her baby and attempt to sacrifice it to Satan. But that's the thing. We see shit in dreams, never see what the baby looks like. We see comments about its eyes and there's something wrong with it, but we never actually get any proof of any of the supernatural shit in this film, which is one of my other favorite parts.
Yeah. We got like the weird wacky dream stuff and everything. Like it did show that supernatural
still
elements.
just a dream.
Yeah.
Right? And even the parts of it that she's like, this isn't a dream, this is real. It's still not, you're not 100% sure how and why. Like, the world around her changes, her bed appears in different places. Like, it's not realistic, but you seem like these things are happening. And then you never see the kid. So you never actually know if this is actually a spawn of Satan, if Satan is a real thing, or are these just crazy cult people worshipping nothing? And she's kind of conflicted about that. And then we get to the point that I love it, but it's also my main gripe with this film, is that it ends at such a point of, oh my god, you end it there.
Yeah.
Because right when she gets to see the kid, she rocks it and she's with all the cult people. It ends. And I'm like, oh my, I want to know what happens next. Like, there is an entire
you don't get told
another
anything.
hour of this film.
Yeah.
You know
that's
nothing.
Because what? It's like a 2 hour and 20-minute film as well.
Yeah.
And it's all building up to this and being, because that's the thing. It's meant to be like the title's called Rosemary's Baby, and then you don't see the baby whatsoever.
Baby's in it for 2 minutes. Like, it's seriously, baby's in it for 10 minutes. In the world, you don't see the baby at all. She gives birth to it unconsciously. Which is crazy. It's a movie called Rosemary's Baby, and there's no baby in it.
Yep.
Like, you never see a baby, which is a crazy feat. But yeah, this movie could have been an hour longer, and I would have still loved it. But Barry, what are your thoughts on the ending?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's the same type of thing. Like, it builds up to this thing, and then like we find out that the people in her apartment complex have like taken the babies, the cult worshippers, or whatever it is, type thing, and then it's just like, she just kind of sits there and does nothing, and she just conforms to it, where this entire film has been about the paranoia of it all and stuff like that, and trying to get away from these people. And she's just like, this is my life now. Like, this is it.
I don't know if it didn't come across as that, and more of like I need to see what this is. More of like a moment of curiosity, I guess, than a moment of acceptance. Because like, she starts rocking the kid, but she's still very uncomfortable at the end of this film where it ends. So if it feels like there's so much we don't see at the end.
Yeah.
Which, as much as I hate, the more that I think about it, it works in the film's favor. Because it adds that level of mystery, and it just makes it a talking point of like, what actually is Rosemary's Baby?
Yeah.
What is this? What are the cult people doing with this thing? What's going to happen? And then I want to throw something at you, Barry, because did you know there was a sequel to this film?
No.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Okay.
It's set around a teenage. No, this is done like 40 years later or something. This is late 80s, I think, but it's set around the son. The baby is like a teenager now. He's kind of like a delinquent, and he doesn't want to be a spawn of Satan or some shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen it. I don't want to see it because like
No, that
it's
just
it has
sounds
like a
kind of bad.
3 out of 10 on IMDb. It's one of those like spiritual successes that they made 30 years later that no one knows about in the 80s, you know. One of those films. It's like
One of
Psycho
those
2
films.
or American
Yeah, yeah.
Psycho 2. It's like one of those films you
Well,
don't want to watch, but you know it exists.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. It would have
So,
been like
so yeah, there's
interesting
that.
if you turned around and being like, "Oh, The Omen is the sequel," then I'd be like, "What? Just wait a minute."
Yeah, oh, that would have been so cool. Yeah, it's no. Um, this film is amazing. Like that's kind of where I'm sitting on it.
Yeah,
Um,
like it's one of those things. Like I'm not the biggest fan of like horror films and stuff like that. The only like horror films I really do like is like
why
Evil
are we
Dead
doing
and
horror
those
films
wacky
then?
things. It's because
So
it's horror,
yeah,
horror themed and stuff like that. It's not. I don't go out of my way to go
yeah.
and see a horror film
So,
type thing.
yeah.
And that's the thing.
It
Like
has to be a good one
it has to be a very good
for
one.
me
The
to watch
story
it.
has to be
Yeah.
really good and stuff like that, or just like kind of wacky and zaniness to it. And that's the thing with this movie here. And I'm real thankful that I did finally like watch it and stuff like that because it was good. Like the performances are absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. Just the whole like story of it all. That's the thing. It holds up. Like this is over 50-year-old film, and it's like better than most like films how they're structured now and everything. And this was done in like
Yep.
68. It was probably filmed in 66 because they keep saying like 66 and everything. It's like when they had the New Year's party and
Yeah.
stuff like
Well,
that.
that would have
So
been when it was set.
yeah,
If it was written in 66, filmed in 67, this in
yeah,
68, whatever it be. Yeah, this is mid to late 60s, and it's impressive. I love it. Like, I would chuck this on now to a modern audience, and people would
yeah,
enjoy this film. It's so good. It holds up there with the best. And I
yep,
see now why it was ranked 7 on IGN's list. It was what
yeah.
for once they got a list sort of right, at least in that regard. But we'll leave IGN alone. So,
Yeah, they're sometimes
I,
not
I
the best
suppose.
when it comes to things.
Yeah, I suppose we can go into final thoughts and ratings for Rosemary's Baby.
Well, that's the thing because they actually
Um,
did do a
oop,
TV show remake of Rosemary's Baby back in 2014.
wait, what?
Yeah.
Hang on, I don't know about this.
Um,
It did? A
yeah,
TV
'cause
show?
I
Hang on.
remember like something like that coming out, and it's actually you can watch it on Stan by the looks of it.
Okay.
It's horrible. Apparently, they never made it past season 1. It has like really bad reviews and stuff like that.
Yikes. Yeah,
But
they
yeah, there
nailed it
is
the first
actually
time.
a remake. It had Zoe Saldana in it
Okay.
as well. Jason
Zoe
Isaacs.
Saldana?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, oh, I don't know about that. That's so
Yeah.
wacky. Zoe Saldana. See, I feel like she would nail it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
she's one of those
she
actresses
played
that
as
I feel like
Rosemary.
could pull it off. Yeah. Okay, I could see that. I don't know if TV show was the right format for it, though. That's probably why.
Yeah.
Like, because this is a 2.5 hour movie. There's like, it feels like if you throw a lot more in here, you kind of dilute it. And that might be where that went wrong. I don't know. I have not seen this show. Don't know anything about this TV show until now. But maybe that's what went wrong with it.
It has a 5.5 on IMDb.
5.5. No, that's pretty bad. IMDb,
Yeah.
5.5 is pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
Okay, well, yeah. Should we final thoughts on ratings? Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, I would give this a good solid 8 out of 10. For me, like I did enjoy it. I didn't spend my time with it. Like I said, I'm not the biggest advocate for like horror films and everything like that. Like there has to be something like really like pizzazzes me for horror films and stuff like that. And that's the thing. If I was probably back in 68 and watched this for the first time and like seeing everything else and I haven't seen anything else, I would have been like, wow, this is like literally the best film ever made. And that's the thing. It still holds up and everything today's standards and stuff like that. The acting is absolutely like great for it. So yeah, a good 8 out of 10.
Yeah. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. This might be one of the greatest horror films I've ever seen. Like genuinely one of my favorites. And I'm pretty big on horror, but it has to be good horror. It has to be something original and it's like unique. Like I could throw on something like this, or I don't know, The Thing from 1982, for example.
Yes, yeah.
Even films like the first Conjuring, which was very much bringing something new, and then everything after that was just dumb because it was just diluted the same. So yeah, 9 out of 10. The acting, as you said, is it's immaculate. Mia Farrow's perfect. The story is great. It keeps you guessing. Even if
Yeah.
it's a 50-year-old film, I still didn't know what was going to happen. And part of that's because I hadn't seen it. Part of that is because of the genius writing of this film.
Yeah.
So, 9 out of 10 from me, 8 out of 10 from Barry. If you haven't seen Rosemary's Baby, go watch it.
Go watch
because
it.
It's amazing. Don't wait
It's
for
on
Halloween.
the Criterion Collection,
Get around
so
to
go
it.
watch it.
I remember it's in a bunch of other places as well. Wherever you can find this film, go and watch it. It's great. It's amazing. Even if you don't like horror films, it's worth a watch. It's not that scary. It's more of a psychological, suspenseful thriller thing. So it's great.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, Barry, should we move on to your pick? Why don't you remind everyone what it is?
So going over to my pick, which is The Cursed, I have a little clip for it here. So, yes, that is the clip for 2021's The Cursed, or original title is 8 for Silver, which honestly is the better name. I kind of like that.
It's a better title, yeah.
Yeah. Directed by Sean Ellis, writer Sean Ellis, cinematographer Sean Ellis, stars and Boyd Holbrook. And that was like the biggest thing for me, like hearing about this film. I'm a massive fan of Boyd Holbrook. There are a couple of things with his character that I just found a bit odd in this film, but I was like, sure. But there is a kind of cool uniqueness about this film that I kind of dug. It was kind of, I vibed with this film a little bit.
Yeah. You know what? I liked parts of it. I had not heard of this film until you brought it up. Like, it's called The Cursed. It's got Boyd in it, and I'm like, I don't know who that is, Barry, but sure, I'll check it out. And then I saw it was a werewolf thing.
Yep.
And then when I saw that it was a werewolf thing, I was like, oh god, this is gonna be terrible.
Oh yeah.
Because there's only like one good werewolf movie.
Yep.
And it was done in like the 70s. That's it. There's no maybe two if you count Michael Jackson's Thriller music video. There's two good werewolf movies.
Yep.
But this is close.
Yeah.
In its like premise alone.
Yep.
Because the like spin that it puts on werewolves and the setup of this film is awesome. I love everything that builds into this.
Yeah. So what the setup is, because we didn't say a description, was
Go
for the audience.
Give everyone the rundown.
A brutal land baron massacres a gypsy clan, claiming his land, unleashing a curse that brings monstrous consequences to his village. So that's basically the premise and how we get into all this going. And obviously the curse is like the werewolf, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, a bunch of gypsies get killed and they're like, hey, you shouldn't have killed us. You're evil. I'm going to curse you so that werewolves will come and they'll kill you. And they're like, okay. And then werewolves come and they kill them.
Yep.
It's a cool setup. I didn't do it justice in my one little sentence, but it is a really cool premise. And the opening of this film was also kind of cool, where it's set in World War One. 30 years after the events of the film, and the guy gets shot up, and then they pull bullets out of him, and they find a silver one. And they're like, this isn't a German bullet, and he goes, no, it's silver, and then it cuts, and it's the Cursed, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, like that's a cool setup, and now I want a World War One werewolf movie because that's
that would be kind of
the
cool.
First World War. That's the opening 2 minutes, and it feels like they just wanted to do a war scene. It's not really connected to anything else.
No.
It's stupid, and it's incredibly obvious who that person's going to be because there's only one person in this film that could look like that in his time, and it's the one kid in this film.
That survives.
Yeah, that was a dumb little mystery. Anyway, so yeah, it's werewolves, but they don't have any hair. That's another thing about these werewolves. They're hairless, which is freaky looking. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, there's some freaky looking creatures in this film.
Oh yeah.
The CGI of these creatures is hit and miss.
Yeah.
It has its moments, and most of the
Moments.
time that's when you can't see the creature fully. But a lot of the times you do see the creature fully, and it's moving around and it's attacking people, and it looks pretty bad. I will
Yes.
so there's that. Okay. I don't know. Do you want to talk a little bit about this film? Because I'm just gonna keep shitting on it a little bit, Barry.
Well, that's the thing. I think, yeah, apparently the budget for it was like $35 million still.
Wow,
Which,
that's a lot. Well, it is a period
yeah,
piece.
is a period piece. And that's the thing. You got to
So,
think it would have cost a lot to get like a lot. There's a lot of like
yes,
cast and stuff like that. And then doing that whole war
there is.
scene would have like probably cost a fair bit as
That's
well.
all of their budget. Yeah, they
That's
didn't need
all of
that. They
their
should have cut
budget.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
There
man.
are a lot of like I said, unique story elements, and the setup for this is like really cool because it's like the first type of werewolf film where it's actually like, oh no, it's a proper like curse and everything
Yeah.
from gypsies, and there's actually like repercussions. It's not just like random werewolf comes out at midnight.
It shows you where
when
these
the
werewolves come
moon
from.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also like even how they set up Boyd Holbrook's character, John McBride. He's
They do
basically
not
like
set up his character. What are you talking
they
about?
somewhat, because he's basically like trying to
They
hunt
don't.
down the gypsies because his family was cursed. Well, his family was killed by the curse. So he's trying to find the same set of
Yeah.
gypsies and everything like that that ended up putting the curse into the silver that ended up making into teeth, which I thought was a bit strange. But you know, sure, that's fine.
The teeth thing was weird, but I guess it was kind of a cool little MacGuffin. But no, they did
Yeah.
not set up his character at all, Barry. He shows up and he's like, "Hey, has anyone seen any gypsies? I'm gonna kill some gypsies." That's like the actual line
Yeah.
from the film is, "I'm looking for gypsies."
He's like, yeah, I'm
and
looking for
that's kind of
gypsies.
all of it.
And then we like slowly find out that he's like, oh, like he's actually hunting the wolves.
Yeah, well,
He
no,
knows what they
doesn't. We
are.
don't find out. He tells us.
Well, yeah.
Like 40 minutes later, he's like, "Yeah, they killed my family. I know what these are. Like monsters. They're werewolves." And we're like, "Oh, cool. You're just the hunter dude." It should not have told us any of his backstory. They
Sure.
like, because
Sure.
they don't set anything up well. If he was just a mysterious stranger that knew about these creatures, had a run in with gypsies before, that could have been very cool.
Yep.
The story itself, let's pivot here, because the story and the structure of this film,
it is bad.
god awful. The way that they lay out the events of like what happens in terms of just how things present themselves, we jump back and forward a lot between like
Yep.
7 main characters at the start,
Yep.
and then as they get killed off, we slowly come into one. Terrible idea.
Yep.
This is a period piece about werewolves. We should be on just the family the entire time. This should be an incredibly suspenseful, dramatic piece. But no, it just kind of throws that aside to have these moments of action that it
Yeah.
feels like it doesn't earn with the werewolf creatures. It's so disappointing. But then we get really cool moments where like the actual transformation into the werewolves, you get like these branches come out of
That
people.
branch type.
and,
Yeah,
like,
it's very
envelop
much
them.
like Evil Dead in
Evil
a way.
Dead.
Like, you know, yeah.
That was
which
cool.
Bring its own uniqueness.
That's a
to
cool
it.
moment. Yeah, so the actual creatures and the setup, and that's all really cool. The way that it's shot is pretty cool too. Everything looks pretty. The sets are really good.
It was shot on film.
Like oh really? Well,
Yeah.
that explains why it had such a higher budget as well. That makes sense.
Yeah.
30
Yep.
million. Yeah. It has that feel. And the sets are amazing. The costumes are great. The world feels good. It's just the story is the biggest letdown. And it's even more of a letdown because the premise and like the idea that it's bringing is really cool and really good. And I really wish this guy like somehow remakes this. and does it
Yeah,
better,
well,
because
that's the thing.
I
Yeah, I,
wanna see
almost
this
want to
film
see like a
be
better
better.
version of this film.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
that's the
there's
thing as
something
well.
you said then this might be a cut down version.
Well,
There's
that's the
something you
thing because
mentioned.
there is like a couple things and stuff like that, and you said about like the jump cuts and the story wise and stuff like that.
It
you
jumps
can
around so
clearly
much. Yeah, yeah.
it's really noticeable even during like the edit stages and how they cut
Mhm.
things and stuff like that. I'm just like, I feel like there's like a bit more to this film that we're not getting and stuff like that. And I'm trying to find like now if there like was any mention about the director, if
No.
he ever did say something and stuff like that. But that's the thing, because he's a foreign guy by the sounds of it and everything. So there's not, and after this film didn't do that well, obviously he hasn't done like really anything since
Ah.
as well. But that's the thing, because it's just like, well, it was written by him and stuff like that. So he probably like wanted to tell more of a story, I would say, because that's the thing, you really could, if you set up was it Boyd Holbrook's character a bit more, and this is another thing as well. It's like, why did they cast Boyd Holbrook in like an early settler like film where he's just like has his very American twang cowboy accent, and it just doesn't fit. I'm sorry, because you could tell at times when he was trying to like be English, and then it would just be like, oh, how you doing? I'm a cowboy type thing. But that's the thing. That's why you
Very
get Boyd
American.
Holbrook to be in your films and everything like that, is because of his very country voice.
See, that would have been cool. You can have that Western accent if you don't set him up at all.
Yeah.
He's this mysterious stranger from a distant land.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because another thing as
sort of his
well,
accent, you know?
which I'm just reading about here, is that the Beast of Jevadan, right? Which is where his family killed his family. Apparently that's actually like based around like a true thing somewhat.
Okay, like a folk tale thing, or like actual history?
Yeah. But that event took place in 1764 to 1767. This film is set in 1891.
Oh yeah. No, like that doesn't like that. That's fine. That's a liberty of timelines. That's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Could have been
event,
like
so
another thing as
me.
well. Like, yeah, like he was like maybe just an old monster hunter that's almost like immortal type thing. Like that could have been like
that could be cool.
Cool
Like
something
Ghost
as
Rider.
well. Yeah.
They threw a little bit of gypsy supernaturalism.
Well, that's the thing, because it's just like all that type of supernatural element to this movie is phenomenal. And it's like how they set it all up and what they do with it. It's such an amazing idea. But then it's just like the story and the structure of it all, or how you visually see it, was just like, what the hell was going on? And that's why I feel like it almost like there's parts missing, or maybe if we can get like read what the screenplay actually is and stuff like that, see what is missing. Maybe this didn't have to.
See if we can find it.
Yeah.
Screenplay, or even we'll see if we can get in contact with the director guy. Let's see if we can find him. We'll see if we can hit him up.
So, but yeah, other than that, I still think like it had its really good elements to it. That's the thing, because even when I saw the trailer for it and stuff like that, I was like, oh, like it looks good. It's probably going to be bad because every werewolf other film ever made is always bad. But still, it's like not bad. It's just like it's good, but it could have been better.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. So I don't know if you want to jump over to final thoughts and ratings for it, Barry. And we can see if we can the director.
Yeah. Well, he's a British film director, Sean Ellis. Okay. So he, by the looks of it, is still doing stuff. He directed something again this year. Only like shorts though. Doesn't look like he's done a feature film.
We should see if we can find his socials or something. See if we can hit him up.
Yeah.
Because I'd love to talk to him about this film. I don't know if we have that kind of power.
Maybe we can try.
We can try.
Next episode we have Sean Ellis and just be like,
hey, Sean, we loved your film.
He's been nominated for an Oscar. How?
For what? Yeah. For a short?
American Awards. Yeah, 2006, a short film. Cashback. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. That's cool. I like that.
Then at the Stiges Catalan International Film Festival, The Cursed won like Best Motion Picture. best director,
okay.
best screenplay, and stuff like that. So
He gets so many awards because he did it all.
yeah.
Nice. All
So
right. Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
So
this
final thoughts and
film definitely.
ratings.
This film definitely has its moments. There are smidges of a great movie here. Set design's immaculate. The atmosphere's pretty damn good. It's just the story
Yes.
structure, and just some of the choices that are a huge letdown to this film. So I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Look, if you like werewolf films, definitely check it out because you haven't got a deep bucket to pull from, and this is near the
Yeah.
top of that bucket. So definitely check it out if you like that. That's kind of it. 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 out of 10. Well, that's I still think they should have called it the Pieces of 8.
An eighth of
The
eighth of
Eights of
silver.
Silver. Yeah.
An eighth of silver.
That's
Yeah,
such
so
a better
cool. That's
title.
so much cooler.
That's such a better cool
Why
title.
yeah.
I'm gonna give this. It's probably
I
like
would've
the
made it a
producers.
6.
They'll probably just like, let's do that. So yeah, I'll
Yeah.
give it a 6. 'Cause that's the thing. I still find it
Okay.
like quite interesting, just the world and atmosphere and stuff like that for it. And it's like hard to like find a like reinvention of like the whole werewolf mantra and stuff like that, besides the original,
Yeah.
essentially. And I know like this year we've got a few coming out again. Like we're going more into like
Wolfman.
monsters, Wolfman and stuff like that. And then we got Nosferatu and everything like that. And there's like more of those like original like films made back in the day. We're just like, oh, we're going back into that again. So it would be kind of cool like to see if like maybe someone picks this idea up again as like, oh, it's from gypsies and everything like that, and then like reinvents it and does their own thing with it again. Because I do
Maybe.
like that premise of it, and it would have been like kind of cool, like with Boyd Holbrook's character, like maybe seeing like what he had to face originally and stuff like that. Because by the sounds of it, that creature or that wolf that he dealt with the first time around killed way more people. They had to get the army to like come in,
Yeah,
and
apparently.
everything like that for his one.
Maybe they should do a prequel.
So
Like-
maybe. And that's the thing, yeah. I like the kind of the weird, wacky design they did for the werewolf for this one. It's very like this different in a way, and how like
Yeah,
all the trees and the
hairless
vines work.
werewolf.
Hairless werewolf.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess that works.
And that also like still contains the person inside of him, because there's like a scene where they do an autopsy and then the girl like comes out of it.
Yeah,
And that with the vines
that was
around
so
her.
freaky.
Yeah, like that was actually like
was
a
like,
really cool,
whoa.
like really cool moments, and a lot of the practical. That was all practical. That part, besides the vines and
That
stuff.
explains why you can't kill them with regular
yeah.
bullets, because they grow back from this body inside them.
Even
Like,
though they
that's
killed
cool.
that one with a shotgun to the head. Remember?
Oh yeah, no, that's right. We did just kind of
Yeah.
kill that one. Yeah. So what was the point of Silver?
So
Hang
the
on,
point
never
of
mind.
Silver
That
was so
doesn't-
he
we
doesn't
just-
turn into the werewolf. That was the whole point. Remember?
Oh, again. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, because he takes
Yeah.
the silver and then he won't turn back.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
But yeah,
I
there's a
must
lot
have
of
missed
like
that.
just a whole bunch of things. Yeah, it just wasn't like executed well, and especially like towards the end and everything, it just got really lost in its own thing. And I think they were just like, let's just let's
Yeah.
just keep doing it and see what we can do type thing. But the setup was
good on him.
like good, and the world that they were trying to do was great. I just don't think it was executed that well and how they wanted it. But I still enjoyed it nonetheless compared to a lot of other werewolf films.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree to that. I'm glad I watched it. I was a little harsh on it, I will admit, but you know what? It's because it had the potential to be
Yeah.
3,
And that's
4
I
points
think
higher.
always
This could have been an
the
8 or a 9.
disappointing part is like you always see like films that are just like if you just did
So
this
much
few little
potential.
things and it could have been way
Yeah,
more
yeah.
better. But I think that's because like
The power
as
of
you and I, like
hindsight,
we're
you know.
progressing more as like writers and making films now and stuff like that of our own accord. So we're in more of that mindset of being just like thinking of a filmmaker these days.
Better. It's power of hindsight as well.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that making this film, it was like, this is so cool. And it
Yeah.
is a very cool film. But yeah, I think that brings us to the end of another episode, Barry.
Yes, it does.
we say good night.
I shall wrap it there. Good night, everyone. Titans fall asleep. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, all that stuff, and follow us on all the places. We're Spotify, we're on Google Podcasts, we're everywhere. And we will catch you all in the next episode of We Talk Film. Catch you later.
Trying to think of like a funny werewolf joke, but like I don't know. I'm kind of lost. Yeah, that works. Yeah, I'm gonna end it there.